There's no doubt that vanilla Project Zomboid is already an extremely fun experience with so much to do and explore, but after you've played for a couple hundred hours, you may want to spice things up a bit. Today I would like to share with you what I believe to be the perfect mods to try out first that will help you begin your journey into the world of Project Zomboid modding. My goal with this video is to give you some nice options to look into if you aren't sure where to start. The first out of 3 kinds of mods we are going to look at are some vehicle mods. This is what I sought out at the beginning when I wanted to add mods to my game. There are an endless number of vehicle mods on the Steam Workshop that add some really awesome cars, trucks, and so much more. In my opinion, the best vehicle mods to start out with are Filibuster Rhymes used cars, any of KI5's individual vehicle mods, and the AutoSAR mods. Filibuster Rhymes used cars simply adds about 20 cars, vans, and trucks into the game. Some unique ones are the El Camino, the Trans Am, and the many RVs introduced by this mod. It is a very nice little expansion pack of cool cars that stand out but at the same time fit right in with the base game vehicles. When you see them around the world, they look as if they've always been a part of the game. It is overall a fantastic first pick once you want to add some new cars to your playthrough. The vehicle mods created by the modder KI5 are probably some of the best ones available on the workshop right now. As of making this video, they have made 39 individual vehicle mods featuring all kinds of real-world cars. You can pick and choose which ones you would like in your game, but I of course chose all of them. A couple of my favorites are this military Jeep and the recently added Mini. Something special about these mods is that the vehicles all have their own animations for things like opening doors, trunks, and hoods. And seriously, the modeling and animation on these are incredible, so if you're looking for an even more vast group of cars to choose from that are also exceedingly visually pleasing, then these mods are for you. There is even one that adds the Warthog from Halo. Now for the AutoSAR Tuning Atelier mods. These mods created by IBR Rust give you the ability to modify a handful of vehicles such as buses, vans, and even a Jeep Wrangler knockoff to be a bit more viable for driving through hordes than the little beat-up sedan you found wrecked in the middle of the road. Once you locate their respective magazines, you can attach lots of storage racks, armors, and spikes to these vehicles, creating an epic zombie apocalypse survival machine that can tear through anything that gets thrown at it and won't break down afterwards, leading to your certain demise. To me, this is something that should already be in the game, because naturally in a zombie apocalypse, you're gonna want a car that will ensure your safety. In the AutoSAR series of mods, it is also worth mentioning that there is one that actually adds trailers to the game that are extremely useful for attaching and towing with your car when you want to give it a lot more storage, or even if you want a mobile base with the camper trailers, which are greatly improved by another mod. That mod is the RV Interiors mod. It allows you to actually go into the interior of things like the AutoSAR campers, the AutoSAR buses, and the RVs from Filibuster Rhymes mod. When I saw this one, I immediately wanted to try it out, and I can definitely say it's probably one of my favorite mods for the game overall. There are a lot of other cool AutoSAR mods that I didn't even get to talk about, but I would love to go more in detail about them in a separate future video. Moving away from vehicle mods, let's now check out another very important category of mods you're gonna want to try: weapons. As you can imagine, there are an untold amount of weapon mods to choose from out there, but here are a few that I believe are good to start off with. A great choice if you just want a simple mod that adds a satisfying amount of new firearms to find around Knox County is Firearms B41 by Hyzo. There are around 23 guns added in total. Some notable ones are the Colt Python and the AK-47. This mod also enables you to put suppressors on your guns, which can rarely be found in places where there are a lot of guns, or you can even craft improvised ones. In my opinion, this is the perfect mod for if you just want a slightly more diverse array of guns. If you think there aren't enough melee weapons in the game, you aren't alone, and the Bushcraft Gear mods by Scavenger have got you covered. The Bushcraft Gear Tools mod adds 6 new survival tools/weapons. They are the Hand Hatchet, Splitting Axe, Cheap Survival Knife, Kukri Machete, and the Rancher Machete. To supplement this, you can also get the Bushcraft Gear Rare Weapons mod, which additionally gives you the Viking Axe, the Reinforced Baseball Bat, and a reskin of the Katana. These 2 mods in conjunction are all you need if you're looking to add a bit more options when it comes to your choice of melee weapons in Project Zomboid. Saving the biggest one for the last of our weapon mods, we have Brita's Weapon Pack, which needs no introduction. This is an incredibly large mod that brings you dozens upon dozens of well-modeled firearms, melee weapons, and attachments of all kind. Gun nuts will love this mod for its extensive options of real-life guns that can all be customized and equipped with different attachments such as sights, silencers, and bayonets. This mod truly is the end-all be-all when it comes to weapon mods. If you decide to go with Brita's weapon mod, you will likely not need another mod to add any more weapons because this one provides you with all you could ask for. It is important to note, however, if you do use this mod, you might in fact actually not want to also be using any other mods that greatly impact the weapons of the game because it may cause some confusions and conflicts. Also, although it doesn't have to do with weapons, you may want to know that there is another mod by Brita called Brita's Armor Pack, which is the same concept as the weapon pack, except it adds a massive amount of armors and clothing that isn't just military gear, but normal clothing and even costumes as well. The mods made by Brita are some of the most popular on the Steam Workshop for good reason. They are so good that they feel like they should almost be some sort of paid expansion pack for the game. These mods are some other ones that I may want to take a deeper look at sometime in the future. Last but definitely not least, the final kind of mods we're going to cover are map expansion mods. The additions to the map created by the community are some of the most impressive things the Zomboid Steam Workshop has to offer. Remember when I was talking about a mod being so good that it could be an entire DLC for the game? These map mods coming up define that sentiment to a T. To start off a bit small, let's first talk about the Westpoint Expansion mod by World War II Commander. This extension to the vanilla town of Westpoint is a beautifully crafted and classic map mod. It adds a pretty decently sized area attached to the east side of Westpoint that is complete with strip malls, industrial zones, and an absolutely massive hospital for you to loot and explore. If you're not looking for anything too big and just want a new little area that is both aesthetically pleasing and just simply fun to roam around, then I suggest trying out the Westpoint Expansion. As a side note, you may need to download the in-game map's Westpoint Expansion mod version if you want this to appear properly on the minimap. Jumping up in size, the Raven Creek map add-on is another extremely popular mod that many people have already heard of. It is a huge city placed in the upper left corner of the map west of Rosewood. Raven Creek is so big that it could almost certainly be an entire game map in itself. It even has its own different zones like a rural zone, a residential zone, and probably the coolest part, which is a dense urban area full of big buildings and skyscrapers. There is a seemingly infinite number of things to see and find in this map, so much so that a lot of people regularly choose this place as their spawn location and will likely spend their entire playthrough within the boundaries of the Raven Creek map. This is yet another mod that for sure requires a whole dedicated video to talk about everything and get a broader understanding of, but for now, if what you want is a giant DLC-sized map edition that will take you on its own entirely new adventure, then I highly recommend Raven Creek. Wrapping things up now, we're going to leave it off on another really big but at the same time interesting and unique map mod called Bedford Falls. Bedford Falls is placed off to the east of Muldrow and is a great addition to the map. It almost reminds me of a much bigger version of Riverside, but with a bunch more special places to visit. For example, it has its own military base and this huge mansion in the middle that would make a great safe house since it's walled off. This is an awesome map full of plenty to find, including many small details, which is really something that all these map editions share. Perhaps my favorite thing about Bedford Falls, however, is that if you combine it with the maps mentioned, plus a couple of other maps not in this video, and some special adjustments that connect all the modded towns together with roads, you can create a massive game world that has well over double the amount of area and locations to explore. I plan for my next mod video to be discussing how to create this mega map for yourself in greater detail. So, there you have it. Those are what I recommend you download first when you begin messing around with mods in Project Zomboid. Now hopefully you have a nice list of excellent mods to select from and try out in case you didn't know where to start. This of course is only scratching the surface of what is possible when you combine an amazing game like Project Zomboid and the limitless potential that the equally as amazing community brings with their exceptional additions through mods.